In this AlignMix video, you will learn how to use the different table views that are found in AlignMix. Now you can view a table for any level of hierarchy that you've created. By default, the hierarchy is set to territories, districts, and regions, where territories are the lowest level of assignment, and territories are assigned to districts, and then finally districts are assigned to regions. You can change that terminology in the AlignMix options by clicking on File and then Options. Here on the map, we've got a file that I've created where we've got territories created, districts, and regions, and we also have accounts imported and also a sales personnel roster. To open up a territory table view, there's actually two ways. The first way is to click this plus button here to open up a new tab, then select Tables and then Territory Table. Let me close this out to show you the second way. So here on the home menu, we've got this Add View button. You click this drop down here, select Tables, and then Territory Table. And right away, you'll see all of your territory data summed up to the territory level. Here on the left side, we've got the color. You can click here to change the color of your territory. We also have the ID and name. You can change the IDs and names in this view by simply clicking and editing the name. If you've imported a sales rep list, you will be able to reassign sales reps by clicking this drop-down menu. But you cannot add a new sales rep from the table view. You will have to add the sales rep by either using the Add Personnel button or by using the radial tool to access territory properties and then adding that rep in. The same applies for districts. You can create districts in the other views, but from the table view, you can only assign territories to different districts that you've already created. Now, if there are some columns here that you don't want to see, you can click on this Edit Columns button and you can remove those columns from view. It's not deleting any data or anything like that. It's just simply removing them from view. You can also reorder your columns by adjusting them using these arrows like that, and then click on OK. From this view, you can also export all of this data to an Excel file so that you have a territory table in Excel, and you can also delete territories by selecting these checkboxes and then click on the delete button here at the top. So now let's move here towards the right. If you haven't hidden any of your territories, they'll all be shown as visible, but you can hide them from view by simply unchecking them here. And then in our first tab, they will be hidden. And the ones that I've hidden are the ones here in the New England area. So let's go back to Territory Table. We then have our locked section. So if you've locked some of our territories, they will have a check mark here. You can also lock them all at the same time by clicking that checkbox. Going back to our first tab, all of the territories will be locked. So let's go back to our Territory Table view. Now we've got our override section. So if you've created overrides, this is where you will see that count of overrides. A gain means that this territory has two accounts assigned to that territory that are located in other territories. And the same applies on the opposite side. This territory here, which is the Allentown territory, has three accounts that are found within its geography, but those three accounts are actually assigned to different territories. So that's considered a loss, but an override. Moving down the line, we've got our contiguous section. If it says yes, that means your territory is contiguous. It doesn't have any little satellite areas that are not touching the main mass of the territory. If it says no, that means there's little satellite areas. When you double click on the no, for example, this one, it will zoom into that area where it's non-contiguous. And right away, you'll see this little sliver here is non-contiguous. So we have to make an adjustment here. But before I do that, I notice that this territory here is actually hidden. So in order to show it, I can use a territory table view, or I can right-click on this area and click on Show. And that makes it a bit easier to see because now you can see this little yellow sliver is surrounded by this gray territory. But before I can make a change here, I have to unlock these territories because when it's locked, you can't make adjustments. So let's unlock all of them, go back to our first tab, and now using the Touch Align tool, I will absorb that little yellow sliver back into the gray territory. So going back to our territory table, you will now see that it says, yes, it is contiguous. The next column here shows a count of all the zip codes. Then we've got a calculation for the total area of every territory, and then our compactness measure. Compactness is a measure of how close your territory shape is to a full circle. The higher that number is, the closer it is to a circle. The lower that number is, the closer it is to basically a straight line. And here on the right side, we've got a count of all the account segments that are found in each territory, and then all of your territory data summed up to that territory level. So that is the territory table view. We can also view table views for districts and regions. And you simply would do that by opening up a new tab and go to districts. And here you've got all the information for your districts. So we've got the ID and the name. And here you can customize that as well. We've got our district managers, which if you double click, you can select different district managers. You will only have district managers appear in these dropdowns. So if you've promoted a sales rep, you have to make sure to make that promotion here in AlignMix by clicking on the Edit Personnel button and making them a district manager instead of just a sales rep. You then have the visible and locked section like we had in the territory table view, but now we've got an extra section here. We've got the territories column, and this is showing the span of control. So it's showing how many territories are assigned to each district. And then we've got the area and compactness and a count of the accounts and all the data summed up to the district level, very similar to what you saw on the territory table. And just like in the territory table, you can edit columns here, you can export this table to Excel, and you can delete districts from this view. If you delete a district, it will only delete those district assignments in that district. The territories will still stay in your map. So now let's open up a final tab and look at our region table view. So everything here operates the same way like it did in the territory and district table views, but we do have one difference. Now we have a count of the districts and the territories. So it's showing you the span of control for every level. So the total number of districts assigned to the region and the total number of territories that are assigned to the region as well. And then we've got our measure of area compactness and a count of the account segments and the data summed up to that region level. And there you go. You've just learned how to use the table views that are found here in AlignMix.